Good afternoon, everybody. It is day 19, and boy, we are in it. So it is April 1st, and we are a little over halfway through the 35 for Life challenge. Change your life 35 days or less, build a business with mental mastery. So it's been very interesting because today, a couple of things. So if you guys don't know, the course for mental mastery, my mastermind, it's doubling today. And it's been a very interesting insight because, as I've been winnowing and being a lot more exclusive about who I speak to and work with, it's been good because I've started to see higher level company. I've had some very interesting talks with some people who I realize I'm like, oh, okay, these are people who are actually doing things, and it's been good. And it's so strange because I'm actually winning. Things are going well, We're making progress in the business. And I think maybe I have a little trepidation because I'm like 90% of the way through Kickstarter. I might edit out a cleaner video, but I'm literally like 5 or 6 hours away from launching this Kickstarter. And I'm really nervous, straight up. I'm really nervous. I'm not even gonna front. I've been working really hard and kind of getting near the end here of this work, and been working really hard, and I'm proud of the progress I've made. We've been doing this. We're about 3 weeks in. We got 2 more weeks after that. And it's been very illuminating to see, as I've been doing this challenge, how things are coming together and how much of it was really based in laying that foundation. What's up, buddy? And also another thing was just, it felt like a bamboo shoot. It felt like there was so much foundational work being done, talking to people, and there was no eyeballs. I'm making all these videos. And then, like, little by little, I started having these conversations, and like these people and little constellations started coming up. And I forgot my own lesson. And so today I want to talk about who is Grace, right? This is the 4th step of mental mastery. We always talk about the 7 steps, and in the middle of each question, we talk about grace and love. And as I've been yesterday, I didn't even film yesterday. It was who is sovereignty, who is free, right? Because we have to establish sovereignty before we can really learn how to love unconditionally. And when I started thinking about who that looks like within myself and within others, I started realizing something really, really freaky. And I realized true freedom. So there's responsibility with true freedom. And I think most people don't recognize that. Most people think, oh, like, I'm just free and now I can do whatever I want. But we live in a universe that's interconnected, and we're all one. And so if you understand that, it's recognizing, hi, dog. Yeah. It's recognizing that whatever energy we have is connected to others. So as we begin to free ourselves, we then naturally connect with those who are also ready to be freed. But I think the scariest part about that is then you start disconnecting and feeling tension from those who aren't ready to be free, who aren't ready to be sovereign. And that's a lot of people. And so I had a bit of an emotional mental breakthrough on Saturday. And then Sunday I had some very interesting conversations with some key people. And it was very interesting, all the conversations I had. Like, I just was bombarded, like, conversation after conversation after conversation. Like, I was just talking to people all day Sunday, right? I was just talking to people all day. And it was crazy how making that decision to sort of go for bigger fish. And now something I want to clarify. When I say bigger fish, I'm not talking about in terms of money. Some people said like, oh, they're talking about money. And I'm like, no, I don't even think I ever said anything about finances on that. But it was interesting how for some people they interpreted that when I said big fish, they thought I meant money. And it was just very interesting realizing like who's ready for what level of change in their life, and recognizing that the resources, the thought processes, as well as the work, everything kind of falls into alignment. And I realized like as we get farther and farther up the chain, or if you want to call it like into higher vibrations, everything just starts to move closer into alignment. As we get closer to the tip of the pyramid, everything just moves closer to source, right? But it's all one. And man, I feel like parts of me are being squeezed through a bottle right now, if I'm being honest, because there's been a lot of emotional shifts I've had to make. And it's also realizing that there's a level of connection I felt with others and people that the connections don't necessarily need to be severed, but the attachment that come with those connections do. Because you have to allow them to freely exist as they are. You can't compel people into freedom, right? That's the biggest thing, is you can't compel people into their own sovereignty. Only they can do that for themselves. And a lot of them won't. A lot of people won't do that. And so it's been a very interesting process as I'm going through coming to understand myself and sort of picking up the blessing that is myself and that is my life. And when this Kickstarter goes out, that'll kind of be the cornerstone of a lot of the foundational work I've been doing. And then after that, it's just letting people know about it. And then we'll really just be focusing on making content. And then using that as a basis to see who we speak to. And so I'm very proud of all the foundational work that's been done. I'm proud of my understanding and where I'm at. I'm proud of the people I'm speaking to. I just feel a lot of happiness, but at the same time I'm not even gonna pretend, there's a lot of, I don't even know it's fear, it's not the word, it's maybe sorrow. There's a sense of sorrow from having to leave some things behind, because I realize there's no excuses. And today I was working with someone, and they took holiday and they hadn't communicated with me, and I didn't want to even be rude to them, and I wasn't mad. What was crazy is I wasn't mad with them, but they had failed to communicate and that had created some issues. And so I had to be very firm with them. And it was very interesting listening to my voice, because I wasn't monotone, but I was very calm, just like I'm speaking to you guys now. And I just told them listen, what you did wasn't okay. And if we do this, we can't work together anymore. So don't ever let something like this happen again. But it was crazy speaking with just no emotion, just saying it and recognizing that the standard had been violated. And it was very different. It's very different because it feels like now my emotions are reserved for very, very special things. And it's not that I don't feel things anymore. It's actually I've been feeling more things than ever. That's actually the really uncomfortable part, is I'm feeling all the time. It's really tough actually, because it just feels like I'm constantly feeling how everyone feels. I'm feeling their fear, I'm feeling their doubts, I'm feeling their excitement. It's like I'm just feeling everything everybody feels all the time. And it can be a little exhausting, if I'm being honest. So there's a part of me that just kind of wants to run away and retreat and rest. But I realize I've been pushing and grinding pretty hard, and I haven't had much company during that time, so that's probably been the difficult part of it. But I have a little over 2 weeks more to go. Then after that, we'll see how the dust settles and how those systems are put into place and how we're progressing. Then after that, it's about living our life and taking the next step. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, I think I just want to just talk about who is, like when I say grace, and the third question word of the day, of the week is who. Because we've been talking about who is graceful, and I've realized we have to allow grace and love after we free people, after we free ourselves, because when you have this newfound freedom, you might not necessarily know what to do, and there's different ways of going, but the next step, so that's tomorrow, so we then have to talk about law and standards, right, and boundaries, because that's where we maintain, we protect the sovereignty that we've gained and the love that we've cultivated. And so tonight, after I release this Kickstarter, I'm going to be making just like a really stable schedule about who I need to be. And then just like, because I have a pattern, I have my 7 steps to mastery that I do every day, and my work task. And I'm realizing now, like, everything's just been streamlined, like all the foundation's been set. So now I just need to have a disciplined day-to-day routine. Because I'm kind of getting out of the cocoon here a little bit. It's weird. And that's what I need to do tomorrow. So I launched this Kickstarter. Then after that, it's making sure that I have a daily rhythm, that I don't get burnt out, that I'm maintaining social contacts, and that I'm living a life. Because I can't be a hermit this whole time. And I've been a hermit these last 19 days, because I've been really grinding. And now I'm kind of getting to this place where I need to emerge in the world. And that's scary because the world that I am going into is not the world that I left. And that's kind of freaky for me. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well and been watching this journey. I know a lot of people haven't. I've been sharing the videos with some of you have been watching it, some of you haven't, but it's really cool. Who is graceful? And who do we become when we become that? Well, we become accepting, we become loving, and we become full. But it's interesting, it's like that is not absence of sorrow. It's not absence of sorrow for the world you left behind, Anyway, stay happy, stay healthy. I hope everybody is doing well. I wish you guys all the best. Stay calm. It's just a game. Peace.